Okay, thumbs up if everybody has it out. Page 22. Okay, so we're reading about Thurgood Marshall. And then the title says Liberty Medal Acceptance Speech. So when we look at the word liberty, what do we think? Stephanie? Yeah. And then when we see the word medal, what do we also think? Jose? Award. Okay, and then when we look at the word acceptance, what is the key word that we see from that? Angel? Mm-hmm. So the Thurgood Marshall was a well-known civil rights lawyer before he became the first African American to serve as a justice on the United States Supreme Court. He gave the following speech at Independence Hall in Philadelphia on July 4th, 1992, the 216th anniversary of American independence. In this speech, in which he accepts the prestigious Liberty Medal, Marshall reminds people that the fight for constitutional freedoms and equality is an ongoing battle. So, when we're reading this, we're learning about how this person became a historical figure on giving speeches. He served as a justice, which means he was on the Supreme Court. So he was more in law. So in your book, you're gonna write this part right here, where it says T. Marshall, a U.S. Supreme Court judge, gave a speech when he was honored with an award called the Liberty Medal.
They already wrote that, Mr. Chan, I think.
Oh, they already wrote all of it?
Yeah.
Okay. So then going on to the next one. Says, it's a pleasure to speak here on the anniversary of our nation's independence. As someone who relishes the ability to do so and say whatever I please, independence is a concept near and dear to my heart. So he says that he's happy to be receiving his award on the 4th of July. Because you were kind enough to invite me here, I'm not going to bore you with a speech. I'm not going to bore you with the speech and then proceed to talk for 30 minutes. What I'd like to do is share a few stories, a few anecdotes of people who have understood the meaning of liberty and struggled against the odds to become free. So he states that he's going to tell stories about people who struggled for their freedom. I think of these people because of the risk they have taken and the courage they have displayed. I value them not only because of the kind of people they were, but because of the kind of nation they insisted that we become. I respect them not because of the influence they wielded, but because of the power they seized. It is useful, I think, to recall their stories or remember their stories, not to dwell on the past, but to see concrete evidence of what was in order to gain inspiration for what can be. Do you remember Hen Sweat? He was an ordinary man who had an extraordinary dream to live in a world in which Afro-Americans and whites alike were afforded equal opportunity to sharpen their minds and to hone their skills. Unfortunately, officials at the University of Texas Law School did not share his vision. Constrained by the shackles of prejudice and incapable of seeing people for who they were, they denied Heman Sweat admission to law school solely because his color was not theirs. It was a devastating blow and a stinging rejection, a painful reminder of the chasm that separates white from Negro. So Marshall wants to learn from the past in order to make the future better, which is why he went into law. And then also Marshall shares that to learn that Mr. Sweat was denied entry into law school because of his color. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that? Victor?
I think it's like, it's not right. I think like Thurgood Marshall saying that because he was a law worker for the guy that he's talking about, and now he's in the Supreme Court, like saying like, oh, he is still.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a good one. Anyone else want to add on to what Victor said?
Mr. Chan, I have a question. Should I pause it and ask you, or just keep recording if I have a question?
You can pause.
Okay.
Should I just go back to where I was before?
Wherever you think. I think that we got the main idea that you're just reviewing the article that we already read, right? We're not
Yeah.
going to reread the whole. Yeah. So just maybe wrap it up, that last main idea.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim. Is it from me?
Okay, so the main idea for this paragraph was that Marshall says that America needs to do better, which is why in the paragraph it's underlined, America must get to work. And America can do better because America has no choice but to do better. And then in this paragraph, the main idea was that Marshall ends with the message that the courts can't do it all. And it's up to each of us to make sure everyone is treated equally, which is why the parts that were underlined was the legal system can't force open doors and sometimes even knock down walls, but it cannot build bridges. That job belongs to you and me. And we will only attain freedom if we learn to appreciate what is different. And then lastly, knock down the fences that divide, tear apart the walls that imprison. So then, once you guys put that away, we're gonna do a small art project, which is a big portrait of the Thurgood Marshall. But you guys are gonna get small sections of this portrait. So, for example, someone's gonna get the small box where it says 1993. Someone's gonna get another box where it's part of his collar and 1908, and then so on and so forth, where each of you are gonna recreate just that small section to create this big portrait. Do I hand it to?
However you want to do it, if you want to pass it.
Do you want to pass this all by yourself, or do you want to just pass it, or just pass it?
John, I'm still recording, right? No?
Okay, so for the picture, once you guys get to the sheet, it's gonna have different images on the top. So it's gonna say, the direction says duplicate what you see in the small square to the left into the big square at the bottom, and then when you're finished, what is in the big square should look like what is in the little square, but only bigger. So for example, you're gonna draw if I see the J and part of the U, we're gonna draw exactly that on this part of the paper, and you're gonna shade it with pencil. So some of you might get like something easy, like this part, and then some of you might get something where it looks a little difficult, where you have to draw the hair of it. Yeah, the hair of the picture. So you have to shade the black and then have the small outline of the hair inside. And then some of you, or one of you might just get like the corner of his hair. So you only have to do that part. And then there are other parts. So you're just gonna copy exactly how that picture is. And then some of you might just, or one of you might just get like a strand of his hair, or the side of his hair. But eventually your picture is gonna turn out to make this big picture.
There's gonna be extra because we have some kids absent, right? I would model. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to model on how you do it, but everyone has a different one, so I can't model the same exact one you have. So for this one, it's the top part of his hair. So what I would do is kind of basically copy how it looks. So if we're looking at the positioning of the image in the small box, we're gonna try to copy that to the big box. So I would just draw the line around. I would draw the line around here, and then just kind of diagonal it down. And then at the bottom, which would be about, let's say about here, you just want to draw a straight line and then have it go down, curve down a little bit, and then curve back up. And then have it sharp down and sharp back up. And then just kind of have it curve straight. And then define it a little bit. And then just go I just copy the shape of the whited part in the picture. So I'd say the positioning about right here would be like the curve. And then
With mine and this one's really good. I just keep going. So, this one kind of just do this. So, wait, so I have to go all the way over here.
yeah. So your image should fit the whole page.
But yeah, because I think that they're not doing it to scale. Like I'm seeing some right here. Like you know how when I do the guided art, like the thirds, it should match the thirds there. So some of them are drawing a really small picture. They're not matching the scale of the model. You know what I'm saying?
So when you guys are copying the image, make it make it look like it's this small image, but to fit this whole square. So you see how I drew the line almost exactly where it starts, and then where it ends. So that big blank white spot should copy the small blank white spot in the small picture. Yeah, so if you see any black part of it, you just shade it with pencil. So then, yeah. So then I would just have this part curve down a little bit, and then have it turn to go straight, like almost like a J. And then curve it back up, and then keep it a little bigger. And then about towards the bottom, I would just have it spike down and then spike back up, and then spike it back down, and then repeat the same thing. And then have it go a little straight, and then bring it back down, curve it back up, and then have it come back down, and then have it curve again, and then curve it back down to make a little bump, and then curve it back up, curve it back down, have it go have it turn straight, and then bring it back down again, curve it back up, and then curve it back down, and then curve it back up to where the line looks thin. And then have it curve it back down, have it point out a little bit. Yeah, like that. No, I think you should make yours bigger because it should be in the corner of the page.
I would pause on yours, Mr. Tran, and check for understanding because I think some are still not doing it to scale. I think they got the idea of what you're doing, but yeah.
No, so it's actually like so this part, yeah, I get it. But then exactly this way. You also need to put the yeah, and then you shade the rest of the part.
close. Maybe the top part a little higher, the top of the T. Let's see what Mr. Tran tells me.
So you know how yours is in the corner? So this should fall into this. So this part here should be in the corner. And this should be bigger. Yeah. Now you see all the buttons.
Yes.
Do you want me to keep going, Mr. Tran? Okay.
So your T and then that should also line up with this one. Yeah, just kind of it should be fine. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, this is good. Now you just have to shave the outline. So you just have to shave all the parts of the
Mr. Tran, are there any extra sheets that need to be colored? Because I see some are done. They could maybe do the extra sheet for the absent kiddo. Otherwise, it'll be incomplete, yeah. I think Aaliyah's ready. Yeah, I think Diego. I'll let her know. Thank you. I think I scared it.